Welcome to the Good Buds Podcast, the show where good buds smoke good buds and talk about them. I'm Curtis,
I'm Shank.
I'm Isaac.
and this is episode 69.
Nice.
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 Airing Monday, February 14th, 2022. Happy Valentine's Day.
Happy Valentine's Day. Dude, 69 on Valentine's Day?
Nice.
The way it should be. Nice.
Nice. We did not plan this.
No.
Isaac, that's why you're sick.
Joke's on you, I'm not though.
So anyway, episode 69, nice, airing Monday, February 14th, 2022, nice, on Spotify, YouTube, Anchor, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, and many more. Thank you for joining us.
Before we start, I'd like to thank, as always, Lumenspot and My High Shop for sponsoring this episode and all of the ones that came before it. Check out their links down below in the description, and we will be talking more about them later.
And fuck, how you guys doing today?
Good, man. Good. Having a great day so far.
Hell yeah.
Been better.
Isaac, how are you?
Been better.
Been better? What happened today?
Good.
Did something happen today, Isaac?
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
I think that's something that we'll get into that for sure. I feel like
Something did happen.
But what is it that happened?
I got into police trouble.
Police trouble! That is the topic of today's discussion, today's
Right.
conversation. Absolutely. We are talking about police trouble.
And not the kind of police trouble that's in the media or the news. Like, don't worry, we're not getting that heavy with you. We are still a cannabis podcast, but
Exactly. We're not getting super political or anything like that. We're just going to go over some personal stories, some funny things that have happened in our
Anecdotes.
personal experience, and also some funny things online that we've heard about police doing and stuff like that. We might talk a little bit about current events, but for the most part, this is basically just going to be, we're smoking weed and bullshitting.
we're a weed podcast, not
serious
CMNBC.
yeah, we're not getting political about it. So, if you guys want to get political about it, be sure to comment down below.
Yes, and
Talk amongst yourselves.
And hit up our Discord, because we have a Discord channel down there in the links down below in the description that you buds can check out.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So, but we'll get to all that in just a second. Before any of that, I have a bong pack right here of some sweet, sweet gas breath.
And I have a bong pack right here of that G13.
That's some blue Powerade.
Blue Powerade.
Blah, blah, blah.
Oh yeah. All the caffeine, all of the sugar, all of the dyes.
Blue dye number 7. Mm.
I don't know exactly what's in Powerade, but it sounds pretty delicious. And hopefully the buds at home, you have your bongs packed, bowls packed, rolled, joints rolled, vapes ready, rigs ready, edibles. Take a bite now, take a bite before, take a bite later.
Eat 'em
It
all.
is time, as always, to blaze it. Tok tok shkaboke.
Boop, boop. Wow, that is a great hit. Wow.
Absolutely.
Mm.
Before we go any further, just like to mention, if you want to hear a more in-depth and detailed review of these strains, we're going to have a video link to that onto our YouTube page. You can check links downstairs below, but that video will go into a full in-depth review of the strains that we're smoking today.
Yep.
And we also got some other interesting content over on our YouTube page, such as gaming, behind the scenes, shit like that. So be sure to head over there, subscribe, like our videos, all that shit.
100%. Now you buds know that our reviews are YouTube exclusive now, so you're gonna have to click on that YouTube link and click subscribe if you're gonna want to catch those every week. But also, if you want to see these strains after listening to this podcast or even during it, you can go to our Instagram at Good Buds Podcast, where we show pictures of these lovely nugs for you buds to enjoy, like ogling. We also share content over at Good Buds Curtis and Good Buds Shank, respectively, where we post behind-the-scenes content, funny videos, memes, pictures of ourselves, videos of ourselves smoking bongs, and that kind of thing. And if you click that follow button, it'll keep you up to date about all of the stuff we're sharing on our social medias, because Instagram is definitely top tier for us when it comes to that.
Absolutely. And on top of all of that, you can also check out our other social medias. We got Facebook, we got Twitter, we have a Discord page that you can check out that we're trying to build there, so be sure to join up over there and get into the conversation.
Popping off right now, buds.
Absolutely. And if you want to help make the podcast a little bit better, you can go to our Patreon page where you can donate for as low as $1. We have many tiers you can choose from, including behind-the-scenes content exclusive for Patreon and the ability to be on the show live or listen in on the show live or do a whole bunch of other stuff. Pick your tier. You can join our other awesome patrons such as Mr. Isaac and Mr. Benji Bills, and we hope to see you buds over there. We love you all.
We appreciate our patrons very, very much, and thank you very much for donating to the show. And those who don't want to donate but want to help us out for free can click the subscribe button, click the like button, comment on our videos, that kind of thing, because all of that free interaction helps us more than we can know, and it helps us know what you buds want from us, because, you know, the more open communication is, the more we can change our format, change what we do on the show to entertain you buds. So remember, keep that in mind. You are part of this show as much as we are, and we love when you guys interact. So, we gotta talk about some. We gotta talk about some stuff.
Wait, Isaac, you get involved. What's
What?
the final thing that they can follow us on?
Twitch.
Yes.
That's right.
Twitch, mother lovers.
Twitch.
Good Buds Curtis, Good Buds Shank, and Good Buds Isaac, respectively. We have 3 different streams that you can pick from. Go ahead and follow all of us.
Yeah, all three of us are variety streamers, but we also, you know, like we focus on gaming content, all kinds of fun stuff like that. So you buds will definitely enjoy checking that out.
And now we can get into conversation.
Yes.
So the Popo.
Popo. So Isaac, obviously, you got to start us off today, bro. You got to start us off today, bro, because you do have the most recent experience. So I don't know anything about it.
I mean, it's not even the worst experience though. That's the thing.
That's
Just
okay.
what happened today.
Just what happened today. Let's start with that. Let's roll from there, and I'm gonna light this
Alright,
doobie up while you
well-
start talking about.
Oh
that.
yeah, I got
And
it.
you buds at
Oh,
home,
yeah.
if you got a doobie to smoke along with us, feel free to light up now.
Cheers. Anyway, so was woken up this morning, asked by my friend, "Hey, you want to go make some money? You know, help me out with the side job. I'm not doing anything, so fuck it. Let's go."
Yeah.
We get there, you know, last person fucked up the job. We have to restart. So we go to Home Depot. We're at Home Depot. We're waiting for the homeowner. We wait for like 20 minutes because they weren't there. You know, they're just like, doors unlocked, go in. We literally just left 5 minutes ago. So we're like, all right.
Right.
So we tell the homeowner, hey, this is what's up. We need to get stuff from Home Depot. And they're like, all right, we'll meet you there. We're in the Home Depot parking lot. We're just sitting there, you know, playing on our phones. And, you know, I just already noticed, like, there's cops. There's like 2 cops just rolling around the parking lot for some odd reason.
Yeah.
And they were there the entire time.
Yeah.
So
Probably looking for somebody or something like that.
I guess.
Or just
but-
routine check through the lots, whatever.
I guess. But so then, you know, we get the stuff. We're leaving. We're pulling out first. That one of the cop is behind us, and then the homeowner's behind the cop. And then for some reason, I noticed my friend's like, hey, you know, McDonald's is right there. I'm gonna go grab some to eat if I have, you know, I'm gonna check if I have some money. And then he pulls in, he makes it obvious that he's avoiding the cop. I didn't know there's a cop behind us. He makes it obvious. He pulls in the McDonald's, but he's pulling in the exit only.
Oh,
no.
he went in the out. No.
He went in
And
where
then,
it's out.
and then he's like, oh shit, getting pulled over. Fuck. And I look back, I'm like, oh, there's a cop. And then another cop car pulls up towards our front end. So I'm like, what the fuck?
No, you know when the second cop
Damn.
car pulls up, you're in for
So-
a sit.
surrounded.
So he pulls up like right in front of us, and then cop instantly gets out. No, like, you know how when you get pulled over, you're just sitting there waiting for a bit. No.
Yeah, because they sit on their,
Cop.
they go on their computer for a second, type in your license plate, that kind of thing, and then.
Cop
See if you have any
instantly-
outstanding warrants or any shit like that. Make sure you're not dangerous.
instantly pulls us over.
So
Instantly
they were
gets out
looking
the
for
car.
someone, you know.
He
you know
comes
they were
out-
looking for someone.
He comes out the car, and he just straight up says, "You know, your tags have been expired for 2 years."
Jesus Christ,
Yeah,
that's
I
a
didn't
little out
know.
of date.
I,
No,
I-
obviously,
They were
yeah, you're
probably
not gonna
already-
check.
I'm-
You're not
I'm
gonna check
ju-
the tags of the car you're a
I'm
passenger
just a
in.
fucking passenger, right? So
Yeah.
I don't know what's going on. So I'm like,
So
"Oh,
they were
shit."
probably running his tags back in the
So-
parking
so
lot,
then
and
he's
they were
like-
just following behind.
So yeah, the cop was just like, "Give me your license, registration, or give me your ID," because his license was also expired. Or
Oof.
so he's like, "Give me your ID," and then whatnot. I noticed the other cop, so I'm being friendly. I'm like, "How you doing today, officer?" The guy notices me in the passenger seat. He's like, "Give me your ID." You give him my ID, and then what? And then we're just sitting
You
there
got it
talking.
fixed so it doesn't say female anymore, right?
Yes, it's fixed, so it
Okay,
doesn't say
okay.
female anymore. It's
Okay.
my temporary.
Oh,
it's
that's our girl.
my temporary license, not my ID.
That's, I mean,
They
that would
took
be your
that.
fucking.
I'm pissed they took that. But anyway,
That would be amazing because that would be like a great conversation starter.
I
Just
would
like
have
for
that bitch mounted on my wall.
Yeah, it sucks that they didn't let you
Identify-
keep it. It sucks that they didn't let you keep it, but I understand why they don't, because they don't want people making fake IDs with their old cards and stuff. But
For the buds who
Right.
didn't know, Isaac had an ID, and for some dumbass reason, even though he filled it out mail, it said on his ID that he was female.
Yeah, and he didn't
Yes.
notice until he shared a picture of it in the group chat with us, and he was like, "Hey guys, I finally got my new ID card." And I looked at it and I was like, "Bro, I was like, why does it say F under your gender? It says sex F." And then Curtis was like, "Holy shit, yeah, it does." And he's like, and Isaac's like, "What the fuck?"
I was the one who found it.
Well,
I put-
we pointed it
yeah.
out either way. It was like, and Isaac was like, "Oh, what the fuck?"
And then the cops just went back. The one cop was running our IDs and whatnot, and the other cop was just going around the car, basically talking,
Isaac has
talking,
like 10 outstanding warrants.
talking to the driver, my friend, and
Smuggling black tar, heroin, and human trafficking.
so he's just like being nosy, just looking around the car, being nosy and whatnot. And then he's talking to him, saying, "So why is your tags have been expired for 2 years?" And my friend was explaining it that the car was not workable for the last 2 years. Bullshit lie.
Yeah, basically, yeah. No, I know what it is. It's like
A bullshit
basically,
lie.
like rather than saying like the honest truth, which is probably that I'm lazy and I didn't feel like spending the money on it and was hoping I wouldn't get caught. He came up with like,
He
oh
didn't
yeah,
get caught for the
no.
last 2 years, but
To
anyway.
be fair, yeah. I mean, well, everybody's luck runs out eventually.
But anyway, the guy, he wasn't believing his lies and whatnot. He was just
Yeah.
like, whatever, okay, blah blah
Yeah.
blah. He's like,
Right.
just stop fucking with the bullshit.
Yeah, I've heard it before. Kind
So
of
then
shit.
the one cop comes up and he's like, sadly, or we're taking the car basically.
Yeah.
So get what you need out now and whatnot. So friend's reaching for the papers on the thing, and as he's reaching for the papers, the one cop's always, being nosy, just like looking over, reading the papers. He's like, so you got recent mail in here? He's like, yeah, I just get my mail, and if it's whatever, I just throw it in here. He's like, so you keep your car as a storage? He's like, yep. And he's like, stop with the bullshit and just tell us the truth, basically.
Yeah.
But they were like,
because he was trying to get him to admit that he grabbed the mail and
They
was
were trying
driving the car. They wanted to know
were
that this
just-
wasn't the
yeah.
first time he drove the car. Basically,
It
they were
wasn't.
trying to
It
get him
wasn't
to admit.
because this is the second car this month
Yeah.
that's been impounded by
Yeah.
him.
Oh
Anyway.
my god, dude.
Anyway, they were trying to get us on some shit. It felt like, because they were just like hassling us about stupid shit, like open the trunk. Like, you're already getting us to take shit out.
To be
They were
fair,
like,
to
they
mention
wanted
they're-
us to
if they're
search
impounding the car, if they're impounding
our
the car,
own car.
they can like, because that's the thing is if they get you to open the trunk, they can do that. But if they impound the car, they're not allowed to actually search the car without a warrant. So they
Exactly.
can impound
So
it,
they
can
were-
park it in the
They
lot.
were
So they were trying to
making
get you to
us
search it.
search our own car, basically.
Yeah.
And the one guy was hassling, saying, where's your gun? Blah, blah, blah. Like, your computers show what I have, right? I have an AR in my name and my Desert Eagle.
Yeah.
Why the fuck would I carry that?
Yeah, why would you carry either of those? Neither of those weapons is a carry
Well,
weapon.
I don't have one anymore. I don't have the AR anymore.
Yeah.
But why the fuck would I keep the big iron on my hip, for one?
No. Actually, I found out recently they make hardshell cases, hardshell belt holsters now for 50 cals because somebody suggested it as a joke on a YouTube channel.
I am
And,
the owner of the gun I had, the company that makes the gun, makes the holsters. So
Yeah.
if I wanted to, I could.
But that
But
would be
I'm
awkward as
not.
fuck, man. That's like, yeah, why would you want that
I
much
am
weight on your
not going
hip?
to carry it.
I
But yeah,
know.
no,
I
it's
already
like-
have to sling my dick on my left side.
I know, right? It's
Exactly.
Like you fucking
But they were like,
balance
they were
yourself
trying
out.
to, they were trying to get more on us, like,
Yeah.
and they were being their dick. The quote, not all cops are. They were being those.
Well, they were probably, to be fair,
stereotypical cops.
to look
Let's just say that.
just to give them like the benefit of the doubt here, they were probably, when they looked up the guy's name, they probably saw that this isn't the first time that he's had a car fucking impounded this month. They also probably saw that, like
They saw the name as
Yeah,
well
so they were
because
probably
his
like, all right,
dad
let's-
is well known with the police
and I don't think
here
and
in
I
my
think
city.
that they
So
I feel like if he had been honest with them when they came to the window,
should've.
because
He
most of the
should've.
time, like if he had been honest with them and he had said straight up, like, listen, like I'm gonna go get it registered. I just, like, it's just one of those things where I haven't been able to afford it. I haven't done it yet. It's like laziness and that kind of thing.
yeah,
They
it
still
doesn't-
probably would have
it's-
impounded the car, but they probably
Yeah,
wouldn't have been assholes.
They
about it.
wouldn't been as much dicks.
That's
as
what I
they
mean.
Were.
Like, they probably wouldn't have been assholes about it, but because he lied to them,
They were
like that
being
automatically makes them go, well, this guy's lying to
This
me. I'm gonna
isn't even-
fucking,"
I was
like-
pretty calm. This whole
Yeah.
situation, I was calm. 'cause this wasn't my first rodeo.
Yeah.
My first rodeo, my fucking anxiety fucking shot all the way to fucking to Pluto, dude. My
Yeah.
anxiety kicked in stupid hard that day. But
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
either for later
That's
on.
another story. Yeah.
That's either later on for the episode. But
Yeah.
yeah, that
But
was
so you're
today's
saying.
experience.
So you're saying so they basically got you to search the car yourself, and then like you took a few things out, and so they ended up impounding the car.
I didn't do anything. I literally stood on the side. I had the bag.
Oh, straight up.
I grabbed the bag what we got from Home Depot, and then I threw all the papers that my friend had on his dash into the bag. So I had the bag, and that was it.
Yeah.
I wasn't
No,
fucking with anything.
Nope. Stand to the side and
Nope.
keep your mouth shut. It's the best thing you can do, man.
I wouldn't.
You're
No,
the,
these
you're the
guys.
passenger.
These
They're
guys
just gonna
were
let you
being
walk away. Worst case scenario, like you're not getting arrested unless you lip off.
That's what. Unlike last time.
Mm.
Unlike
I've seen
last
so many
time,
episodes.
I
I've
was
seen
the
s-
case in
Oh, yeah.
scenario.
Yeah.
I've seen so many episodes of fucking cops or shit like that where the passenger just said the stupidest fucking shit and they got charged with dumb shit when they
disorderly.
easily would have walked.
They could even hit you with disorderly conduct. All you need to do is say nothing. Just be as polite as possible when they ask you questions. Don't answer their questions like with extra detail. Like literally give them only the amount of detail you have to. And 9 times out of 10, they'll just be like, "Okay, well you can go because you weren't driving. We're not going to arrest you regardless because there's nothing we can charge you with as a passenger.
Right.
So
You're
you can
pretty
walk
fucking
you can
useless
walk
right
away
now."
right now. Call an Uber, go whatever. If you need to
Right.
lift somewhere, we'll drive you. But most of the time they'll just be like, "Go the fuck away," and then they'll deal with the driver. But if you start lipping off, whoo, they're like, "No, you're in this now too, buddy."
Yeah. Now the other different case scenario is if you, the driver, and everybody else in the vehicle have something, which is basically the situation for the first and only real time where I got arrested for possession of cannabis.
Mhm.
At the time when it was illegal. I was 18. And yeah, that shit was also just bad shit, wrong time. I think I've told the story once on the podcast, but good time
Yeah.
to re-explain it.
Yeah, it's a good episode to go into more detail about it for the buds that might have missed it.
Exactly. So, the story of Curtis's possession case. So, key things to keep in mind. The police were extremely nice when they initially pulled us over. Mind you, they are pulling us over as we're leaving an apartment complex that none of us live at, while we were smoking a fuck ton of weed in the parking lot, with the windows down, and the speaker system up. So will the
fairly-
rest Slim Shady please stand up?
Yeah.
But yeah.
So fairly
So-
conspicuous.
Fairly conspicuous. So apparently somebody calls the cops,
Mhm.
and the cops pull us over right as we're leaving this apartment complex. Go up to the window, immediately smell the weed coming out of our vehicle, and they're like, okay, so obviously you guys got weed. Who has it on them? Be honest with me now, or this is going to get a lot worse. 5 of us in the vehicle.
As
The
honest
three
as
of
they
us
can be.
the 3 of us that do actually have cannabis on us, fucking pull it out. My friend had 1 gram in the back seat. Driver had 2 grams, and I had 2 grams. So we all pull it out, and they're like, all right, so we got to pull you over, yada yada, get everybody out of the vehicle and keep searching and shit.
Yeah.
So they searched through the vehicle. Mind you, they were relatively nice for the circumstances when they pulled us over.
Yeah.
They got
Well,
a little
again,
bit more.
if you're not aggressive with them or like hiding stuff, most of the time they stay nice.
Now, they did not in any way directly ask us, is there anything else in the vehicle? And because of that, none of us really warned them of what was in there. So they start searching anyway. So immediately in the center console, they find my friend's spring-assisted knife, which at the time was illegal in Michigan.
Yeah.
Unless you were an EMT.
Yeah.
So that's strike 1. Strike 2 was the foldable metal baton in the front seat.
Which is also
Really?
an illegal self-defense. Yeah.
Yep, illegal in Michigan at the time. Legal now,
Yeah.
but at the time,
Well,
no.
actually, it's funny. Fun fact: in most places, a non-collapsible baton
Right.
is fully legal to carry around on your hip if you want to walk around with it anywhere you want. Like
Yep.
if you get a billy club or
Like
whatever,
a billy club or a
Yeah.
fucking nightstick
or a
or
regular
anything like that.
or a full regular mounted baton, that's fine to carry around. But if it's collapsible, it's not legal.
And
Yeah.
concealed and stuff.
Yeah.
It is now, but yeah, at the
yeah,
time,
now,
no.
yeah.
So yeah,
Canada's
they found
funny
one
with
of
that
those.
kind of shit.
They got a little bit more upset.
Oh, yeah.
Out of the two people in the back, one of them had a grinder. They got a little upset about that, but they took
Paraphernalia,
that.
Yeah.
They let the two other people go. It was just the three of us now with weed.
Yeah.
So then they pull out my backpack, which had a very big knife in it. Approximately this,
It's a kukri. Yeah.
yeah.
For the buds at
So
home who don't, it's a gherkin knife.
I basically had a kukri in my,
Yeah.
a mini kukri, but still a kukri.
Still a knife, yeah.
Unsheathed, just sitting in my backpack. They pull that out like, what the fuck? They go to the back seat where there is yet another collapsible metal baton. Pull that out, going, what the fuck?
My God,
They
y'all
pull
are
out more
armed like a
knives.
Clockwork Orange, man.
More knives, more other stuff. They finally get to the back seat. The thing that we were smoking out of. A 4-foot tall bong.
Oh my God, in a car.
In a car. Mind you, this was a Dodge. This was an older Dodge Durango, I believe. But
Okay.
the
Those cars
thing,
are really...
the fucking bottom of this bong hit the passenger floor.
Yeah.
Or the seat. Yeah, the floor of the passenger seat. I'm sitting in the passenger seat. This thing came up to my chin. I had to stretch
Shimmy
upwards
up.
in order to hit it, and I had to reach my arm as far down as it possibly could go in order to get any kind of hit on it myself.
Yeah, and if those are the kind of bongs that you get a buddy to help you.
Yeah, but I'm like, no, I can do this one on my own.
Oh, yeah.
And I was able to clear it on
You're
my
strong,
own, which was
independent.
impressive.
You're a strong, independent black woman. You don't need no man.
Damn right.
Mm-hmm.
So
This
Come on,
my man
sister.
got 2 jobs.
My man got two.
So they pull that out of the trunk, and they go, okay, now what the fuck is this? At this point, they're pretty pissed.
Well, yeah.
So then they see a locked Rubbermaid tub.
I mean, they're
And they
probably
asked my
less
friend for
pissed
the
than
key.
like completely incredulous about the fact that these fucking like idiots have all this shit in one car.
So
Because
then they asked for the
everything
key-
you add is
so,
another sheet of paperwork.
So then they ask for the key to this Rubbermaid tub that the guy has. They open up the Rubbermaid tub. He didn't want to leave any of his paraphernalia or weed or anything at home, so everything else was in this Rubbermaid tub in his fucking car, including a gas mask, multiple different bowls, pipes, bongs, fucking pieces, rolling papers, blunt wraps,
Oh
little
my
tiny
God.
bags of weed, bags
So like
that
his
had
entire,
weed in it.
basically his entire weed battle station, he stored it in his truck because he didn't want to keep it in his house.
Everything that I have on my desk or on my nightstand
No, I
right
know what you
now
mean, yeah.
was in his
Like
truck.
all the
Yes.
like everything, yeah. No, like that's wild.
So the cops see that and they just go, "Oh, come the fuck on!"
Well, that's what I. Okay,
Because
so
like
now
you said,
I know it.
because like you
Yeah.
said, everything that I just added is more paperwork they have to go
Every
through.
single item on that needs an
So-
entire like page of paperwork.
So what they ended up doing is they took all of our stuff, put it in the car, and they towed the vehicle. We all got transported in a cop car to the police station where they jotted everything down.
Yeah.
Mind you, it wasn't until we got to the police station with the one officer who was transporting us and was going to deal with us the rest of the time. It wasn't until like we got to the police station that he had finally calmed down enough to be chill again.
Yeah. Well, dude,
Until then,
like I said,
they
it's like
but
the
we-
paperwork.
we had calmed him down, chilled him out, and we had fucking talked to him enough in a calming way. I was joking around. My one friend was acting like a scared kind of,
Yeah.
mind you, acting.
Yeah.
Like he already knew. He acted like the whiny little wimpy kid, so
Yeah.
he, they felt
Get the
sorry
pity
for
points.
him.
Get the pity points. Yeah.
And my other friend was acting like the scared, like, yes, sir, I'll do what you say, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Because he's high out of his mind.
Submissive.
He's like,
yeah. Submit to the
so I'll be the
authority.
submissive.
Yeah. Just wait. Let it.
Meanwhile,
do
I'll do everything you say, but I'm gonna joke around with you
Yeah.
the entire way.
You know you're fucked. You're like, that's the thing is, if you're up shit creek, why would you stop joking around?
Exactly. So I just
Like-
kept it lighthearted, funny, kept people joking and shit
Yeah.
like that.
If I'm gonna end up on an episode
And-
of Cops, I want to be like a funny episode.
When it gets to the fucking part where he got us in 3 separate like holding cells because
Yeah.
they had enough at the time. It was a dry day.
Yeah.
So 3 separate holding cells. One of my friends is just sitting in the corner, like, contemplating and stuff like that. My one friend is like doing push-ups and then laying down and then doing push-ups and then laying down. I folded the mat in half.
Man, he went right into the prison mentality, didn't he?
Yeah.
He's like,
I
lifting weights
fu-
already by the end of day 1.
I found where the camera was. I've put my mat in the opposite corner, folded it in half, stood on my head in the corner, and I just waited straight up and down on my head.
That's fucking magnificent.
for 15-minute intervals. Then I would come down, chill for a bit, arms behind the head, relax, nothing, no worry in the world, and then back up.
Well, yeah, it's like, dude, like I said, you're already fucked up. You're already fucked. You might as well make the best of the situation.
It was after like 40 minutes, they finally came in. They're like, "Hey, can you just stop that? Can you just stop that, please?"
Yeah. Well,
Another 20 minutes later.
I always say
another 20 minutes later, they let us out.
Yeah,
I would have been facing the wall.
I was gonna say,
to be
yeah.
honest.
There's two types of people in the world, right?
Little baby,
there's
don't say
there's
a
two
word.
there's two types of people in the world. The types of people that when they come across a stressful situation, they shut down and they go, "It's over. I can't do anything. Life is over. I'm done." And they like shut down. And then there's the kind of people that are just kind of like, "Fuck it. Let's just."
To be honest, I would have. If I was you, Curtis, I would have been looking at the camera doing Orange Justice.
No,
I didn't know the dance at the time.
no, me.
Dance didn't exist.
I would have faced the wall and T-posed. just T-pose and face the wall and don't move.
I would have stood on top of the sink and T-posed.
Yes, or plank on the toilet.
Mind you, I did pee once, and I tried to use the water fountain that was on top of the toilet, and gunk came out. I said, nope.
Not today, Satan.
Not today, chlamydia.
Oh my god, dude. So yeah,
You're a
that's
beautiful
always-
girl's name, but you are terrifying
See,
as
and-
a sexually transmitted disease.
And honestly though, that's goddamn hilarious, man. Like, that's goddamn hilarious. Do you like fashionable and unique clothing? Do you like things that shine super bright when exposed to light? Do you like discounts? Do you like advertisements that ask, "Do you like?" over and over, knowing there is no direct way for you to answer back? If you answered yes to all of these questions, or even just the first three, check out lumenspot.com for some lit clothing and accessories, and use the code GoodBudsPodcast at the checkout for 50% off and free shipping. Thank you, Lumenspot, for sponsoring us, and thank all of you for listening. Check it out today with the link below in the description. So now, Curtis, that story that made me think, because we were talking about paperwork a lot,
Right.
about my favorite experience with a police officer. Now, obviously, this one here has you know, it's a different ending, thankfully, than your situation, Curtis. And I think I've talked about it a little bit on the podcast before, but also this is a great episode to go into detail about it. So, me and some buddies had this place that we used to smoke called Paradise. And now Paradise was not paradise by any stretch. It was this little garbage-strewn patch of forest that was like, there was a park and a hill going up behind the park, and you go up on this hill and there was a nice little clearing. You could go and you could sit up there. Now, this was right by a residential neighborhood. This cute little suburb area. Lots of little, like, nice houses and everything like that, quaint little families and shit.
Right.
But the dealer that we all go to used to live directly across there. His name was Bernard. He passed away now. He died of cancer several years back. Rest in peace, Bernard. Yeah, he was a good guy. But anyway, so we would go to his house, and then we would go across the street to go to Paradise, and we would go up the hill and into the woods, and we'd go and we'd sit up there. And one day we went up there in the evening. It was probably around 6, 7 o'clock at night, maybe a little bit later than that. It was starting to get dark, but it wasn't dark yet. And we were just sitting up there, and my friend had brought a bong. A nice bong. It was probably about not a 4-foot bong, you know, not as substantial as the one in your story.
Like a 1 or a 2 foot, like
it was probably
right?
probably like a 2-footer, like probably like what we've got now, like a 2-footer. Like, it was big enough that you couldn't just pocket it, or it was big
You
enough
needed
that
a backpack.
exactly right. So, we were all sitting there, kind of smoking the bong and stuff like that, just kind of sitting in a circle and that kind of thing. We had a couple joints going, and the bong was being passed around, and fucking my friends heard footsteps. We heard footsteps coming up the hill, and we were like, oh shit. So one of my buddies kind of like stood up and kind of like started walking away, like into the woods deeper, like away from the footsteps. And that's when we saw a flashlight turn on. And when the flashlight turned on, my friends fucking scattered. At the moment, I was sitting cross-legged on the ground with the bong in my lap, this big 2-foot bong, and I had a choice to make. I could either yeet the bong and try to get up and run and be like the last one running, which is not a good position to be in.
Never.
You know, because like if you're the last one running, chances are you're the first one getting caught.
Yep.
Just like when you're getting fired at a job, the newest people hired are usually the first one's gone. You know, so if I was the one that was the most recently standing up and running away, if this was a cop, you know, for all I knew, because I couldn't see, it was dark. I only saw a flashlight and a silhouette. It could have been a citizen.
If this was
of the
cop,
fucking,
you You were
Yeah.
more than likely first person to be
Exactly, and I didn't feel like getting and like so mainly my decision was based on the fact that I did not feel like getting tackled that night.
right.
Because it's just not my cup of tea. So I just sat there with the bong in my lap. I just had the bong sitting there on my legs, and I just waited. I was like, my buddies ran, and I was like, fuck it. I was like, if I run, I'm fucked. If I sit here, I'm fucked. And if it's just a person from the town, I can just say, hey, really sorry, we'll leave, and we won't come back, and hope they don't call the cops, and we'll just dip. You know, like if
And
it's
if
just
they are
someone who
going to
lives
call the
nearby.
cops, cool. I got 5 minute head start.
Exactly, and if they are going to call the cops, then I can at least outrun this fucker, and they're not allowed to tackle me without repercussions. So that's fine, right? And so I was like, so basically I sat there, and lo and behold, it was indeed an RCMP officer. It was a police officer, one of our lovely mounted police, but he wasn't on his horse. I was a little bit disappointed. But
Did he
so
come up
up-
in the royal red
yeah.
or the
no, he was using his
Bootylicious
traditional.
blue?
They were
Boot-
wearing that nice blue. The
Bootylicious blue?
Yeah,
Got
the
it.
dress reds. The reds are for mostly for dress, and for like
I
like.
know.
Yeah,
I know. I'm
But
making
man,
a
that
joke.
would have been so nice though, because I think they should wear that color all the fucking time, man. That's just a sharp looking uniform. But like,
Well, that shows the dedication to their craft.
oh, straight up, right? And like, but their blues are nice too. Like they got the fucking nice tactical, like good police looking blues and stuff and everything else. They're
Anywho's.
very tactical. But anyway, he comes marching up the hill, and it's a police officer. I recognize once he comes kind of within range a little bit, where I can see past the flashlight beam. I see that it is indeed a police officer. And so he speaks up and he says, "Hey there," and I was like, "Hi."
Hi.
I was like, "Hi, what's up, man?" And he's like, "Yeah, so he's like, it's pretty obvious what you're doing up here." And I was like, "Yeah, you're." I was like, "You got me, man." I was like, "I'm not gonna lie, like you got me. Like it's like, it is what it is." And so the dude was like, "All right." He's like, "I know there were other people here with you." He's like, "Do you want to name some names?" And I was like, "No." I was like, "I don't even know them." I was like, "It's just some people I ran into today. They, scattered." I was like, "I don't even know them." I was like, "If they were my friends, they probably would have stuck around, right?" And he was like, "Yeah, you're." He's like, "Yeah, right." And he's like, and I was like, I knew that wasn't true. I was like, "Fuck it, I don't want my friends to save themselves. Get the fuck out, right?" Like, like fuck that. My buddies know that. But anyway, like still, like I was like, yeah, like anyway, I was like, they took off. I don't know the guys. And he was like, okay, well, he's like, we got some reports that some teens were up here lighting fires and like being loud and playing music and stuff. And I was like, okay, well, I was like, I can address that. We weren't lighting any fires because we weren't. We all know better than to light a fucking fire in the woods when it's dry and fucking like when you're stoned out of your gourd and nobody's responsible. Like we knew better, and we didn't need a fire. It wasn't cold. It was, like it wasn't cold, like so we didn't need a fire. I was like, no, like I was like, the only thing we were like, I was like, we were smoking weed, obviously. Like I've got a bong right here. Like I was like, that's like
Right. So we were lighting our lighters.
I was like, yeah, I was like, we were lighting our lighters, but we weren't lighting any fires up here. We weren't burning anything or lighting anything on fire. We were being very careful.
Just doing this, officer. It's fine.
Yeah, just doing that, officer. Yeah, just take another hit right in front of him, man. That would have been fucking. Oh,
no,
man.
this is what we're doing.
Move.
I'm not lighting a fire. I'm just lighting the bong. See?
Yeah. I'm actually, yeah.
You see, officer?
Yeah. And so basically I was like, no, we weren't lighting fires. We were just smoking weed, and I was like, maybe we were being a little bit loud at points because, we were talking and like yelling and that kind of thing, and we might have been being like that kind of thing. But I was like, we weren't lighting fires. I was like, I want you to know, like this, if you're taking me in for anything, it's not going to be arson because we weren't lighting any fires. And so he goes, okay, well, hear me out. He's like, it's late. I'm almost at the end of my shift. And if I take you in right now, I'm gonna have to do a whole bunch of paperwork because I'm gonna have to we're gonna have to sit down. We're gonna have to talk about your friends. We're gonna have to sit down. We're gonna have to talk about what you've got on you right now, what you were doing, that kind of thing.
Everything has to go into inventory.
Like everything has to go into inventory. I'm gonna have to do a bunch of paperwork, and he's like, it's gonna take like the rest of my evening. And he's like, I've got stuff I want to do after work today. He's like, I've got you're lucky because today, of all days, I have things that I need to do after work, and I don't have time to sit down and do all of that. So he's like, hear me out. I'm gonna let you go with a warning today. He's like, I want you to take this very seriously. Never let me catch you up here again. If I ever do, I don't care whether I have things to do or not. I'm gonna go in and do all of the necessary paperwork I have to do. And he's like, and he's like, when you do see your buddies, make sure you tell them that, if they come up here and I catch them, it's going to be the same situation. The paperwork is going to be done. And I was like, okay, dude. I was like, honestly, yes, sir. I was like, yes, sir. Deal. I'm not saying anything else. Fucking 10 out of 10. Yes, sir. Thank you,
Would
sir.
recommend.
Like, thank you, sir. I
Yeah.
appreciate it. I hope you have a good, safe evening. Like, you take care of yourself. Like, fucking, I hope the rest of your night's very uneventful and you just get to go home on time and everything like that. And he was like, okay. He's like, I'm gonna let you go. He's like, remember though. He's like, I remember a face really well, and I will remember your face. And he gave me one of his cards, one of his like deputy. I don't even have it anymore, but it was like fucking constable something. But he gave me one of
Okay.
his cards. I think I used it for filter and joints. But yeah. So he gave me his card and then he left, and I was just like sitting there like making sure I didn't shit or piss my pants. Like I was like just like my butthole was puckered that entire time. That he was just gonna like change his mind if I said the wrong thing or did the wrong thing or whatever. If he decided that he really couldn't get
Right.
away with like, letting me. So basically, like as far as I know, he just went back to his car and logged it as an uneventful stop. He just logged it that he went back into the woods to look for us, looked around for a minute, didn't find us, and went back to his car and then fucking drove off. Like as far as I know, like that's what he put in his official
Yeah.
paperwork. Because like man, every day I'm thankful for that situation, and because of that one cop who was like cool, who could have fucked my entire life up. He could have fucked my life up, man.
Oh yeah.
And he decided to be cool. Like I have at least approached every other situation that I've had with cops with a somewhat respectful attitude, knowing that they could have shit to do after work today. You know? Like it's like not only like cuz they've got a life outside of their job that they want to get to, and that like they don't necessarily like it's like who knows what they were doing before work, who what they're doing after work. Like they're just here trying to do a job, and if you're cool with them and you're not actually doing anything illegal, even if they just stop you for walking down the street and looking sketchy, if you're cool with them, then they'll forget about the looking sketchy part and they'll be like, "Cool, buddy's not sketchy. Fucking have a good day. Take care." And you'll leave the
Exactly.
conversation. You'll leave the conversation saying, "You have a good day. Hope you have a safe shift. Bye." And then carrying on with your life. And yeah, it took 15, 20 minutes of your life, but you formed a better relationship with another human being in that time. And if they see you on the street again, they're not going to think you look sketchy. They'll think you look like that cool dude they talked to. You know? So it's like win-win. But ultimately, I'm thankful for that cop not being a dick, because he could have kind of taken me down, made me do a headstand in the fucking holding cell like he did. I mean, I
I
don't
did
think I would
that
have
on
been
my
as
own free
creative.
will.
I was gonna say I don't think I would have been as creative as you. I probably wouldn't have thought of doing the headstand. Like really, I wouldn't have.
In all fairness, I really shouldn't have, because he took my hat, so it was just my bare hair on a mat that many people have pee and pooped on,
Yeah, there's been
Head
and
lice.
blood and other stuff.
bodily
I think
fluids
they
on that there
just,
mattress.
I think they just have like a spray bottle of like watered down Lysol that they just spritz over it after each use.
Yeah, it's
Oh my
fine.
god.
Maybe like
It's
Lysol
fine.
and bleach. And like,
Yeah.
yeah, that's fine.
Just
You're like, yeah,
water.
that's clean enough. Clean enough. Yeah, it's just
They
water
just,
with a bit
they
of vinegar.
just, they just take a cup, a solo cup, dip it in the fucking toilet, and just throw it at it.
Oh my
Clean enough.
god. They sprinkle baking soda on it, leave it there for 5 minutes, and then slap it so it all flies off, and then they just
The solo cup
I
is
think
in the
cornstarch-
corner of the
Yeah.
the,
More,
the cell
it's probably
still.
cornstarch.
yeah, cornstarch. Yeah, we'll tell
Cheaper.
ourselves that's what those sticky white splotches were on the mattress, but we all know.
Please just tell me it was Oobleck.
God, man, I want to make some oobleck. It's been a long time, but
Oh.
but that's the thing is like it's like the police, like sometimes sometimes they can be assholes. Obviously, we all know that
Yes.
because they're humans. They're human beings. Like people forget that cops are
Yes.
just like every other profession in the world. There's like a whole spectrum of human beings that are doing that job.
And
No.
But
You've had a couple
yeah,
instances of police interaction as far as you've
I've
alluded.
dealt with asses. I've dealt with cool ass ones. I've dealt with probably all of them.
yeah,
All
like
stereotypes.
a whole
What
spectrum.
are some of your funniest encounters?
Funniest encounter was with so when I was a wee bit Isaac.
BB Isaac.
Wee baby Isaac, the
I'm
one you can
talking
find on Google Street View if you look hard enough.
yes, Cleveland, Ohio. Anyway.
Good luck, buds.
Good lucks.
First one to find it wins a Good Buds podcast T-shirt.
Yep.
First one to find Baby Isaac.
Yeah, first one to find Baby Isaac wins a Good Buds podcast T-shirt. The only
Anyway.
hint you get is Cleveland, Ohio.
Cleveland, Ohio, 2009. Anyway,
Yeah, that's it. Dude, you're narrowing it down
Um,
too much.
no, I'm not. Anyway,
Okay.
so 4th of July, there's a big party going on down the street. And I'm in my front yard because the next street over is having, every 4th of July, it's like a fireworks showcase on that street. Like
Oh, yeah.
everybody has crazy ass fireworks. Like,
Yeah.
Booms
It's
to
America.
booms. It's
Right.
Celebrate
Cleveland,
your
it's
country by
Ohio.
blowing up a small piece of it.
It's Ohio. To the Midwest, that's the fireworks state.
Oh, hell yeah.
right. Anyway, so I'm watching the fireworks and it's starting to get late. It's like 1, 2 in the morning, and it's starting to like die down a bit, but not like too crazy. But there's the part, like I said, there's that party going on. The street is packed with cars. And then there's this one guy, he's like walking back from the party, he's fucking stumbling. He's fucking shit faced.
Yeah,
Right.
obviously I am.
He gets in his car. The car was coincidence that the bitch was parked in front of my yard.
Hmm.
But I was on the side of the street where the cars did park, but it was like it was across the street on the other side.
Yeah.
So he gets in his car, he's drunk, shit faced, starts it, puts it in gear, has the car, he has the brake pressed down, passes out.
Oh.
Behind the
He's
wheel with it running.
with
and
it
in
running.
gear.
Foot on the brake in gear.
In gear. We're just like, honestly, everybody there just thought he was like messing around on his phone or something, right? Because he was just sitting there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or I didn't even think the car was in gear in the first place. But anyway, so a cop rolls up the street, sees a guy parked in front of a fire hydrant. So he's about to ticket him because I don't know if it's the same in
Yeah,
Canada.
you can't. No, yeah,
Yeah,
it is
the
the same in
countries.
Canada. It's
Okay,
because
you
you
can't
can't
park in
fucking
You
never
can't park
block
in
a
front
fucking
of-
for all the
Yeah,
buds
can't
out
block
there.
a-
If you don't know this already, it doesn't matter if it's legal or not. Don't block a fucking fire hydrant.
No,
So a guy
I'm
was
pretty sure it's universally fire hydrants and stop signs. You
Well,
can't block.
firefighters will fuck up your car.
Yeah.
I've seen pictures of like
Yeah.
Porsches with the windows smashed out and a fire hose running through the like cabin
Yeah.
of the car because they didn't.
they will do it because they
Oh,
can't.
I'm looking up these pictures now, but
Yeah.
go on.
Straight up, look it
Um,
up. Like look up.
So the
like,
cop is about to give this car a ticket. As soon as the cop, rolls up and stops, the drunk guy in his car starts moving slowly. So we're like, oh, he's awake. He's going on with his day.
yeah,
Or his night, I should say.
yeah.
But he doesn't move out of the diagonal line that he was going.
Oh,
He
so
was
he's just
going-
going straight.
He was going like at least 3 miles per hour. And we're just like, oh shit. So
Oh my god.
he gets literally fucking 6 houses down, 6, 7 houses down. And all of a sudden he hears boom. He hits the tree.
Oh
But
shit.
it's not like a hard hit though. It's like a little boom. But with car crashes, no matter how fast it is, it's a loud bang.
Holy
So-
shit! I did not realize this is fucking procedure.
Yeah,
There's
yeah.
so many different cars.
Yeah, I was gonna
They
say
don't
literally just that.
fucking
I just sent to the
care.
group chat there. Google search the page,
Yeah.
the entire window. Like if you just go to Google and you type in "car parked in front of fire hydrant pictures" and then Google that and go to the image tab, you will see hundreds
Yeah.
of videos
That
where they just
or-
smashed through the car.
Smash straight through the car, get to the hydrant. They need that straight shot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's fucking hilarious.
And,
Continue
you
on.
know,
Yeah.
and then when he did that, I
And then
ran
Greg
to the
did it.
cop
Love it.
because I was still outside. No one was outside. I was still outside, and I saw
Mhm.
everything happen.
Oh shit.
Look, before
Little Isaac
anybody
was a witness.
says before anybody says anything, I was like 7th, 6th grade. Okay, I don't know common sense about this shit at that age, so I'm just sitting there on my front porch enjoying fireworks. At
Yeah, it's
fucking
not like
2
you
in the
would have.
morning.
Yeah, it's not. Now you probably
weren't
would have ran
watching
over.
any of
Now
that
you
shit.
probably would have ran over to the car and fucking tried to put it in park or something like that. At least, like you'd go and check and see if
Anyway.
the guy's dead. But when you're a kid, you're like, fuck it.
Anyway.
Fireworks.
Anyway, I noticed what's going on. I book it down to the street to the cop car, which was like two houses down. I tell him like, "Yo, someone just hit a tree up the street," and then
Yeah.
he was pissed because he was literally mid ticket and literally
Yeah.
stopped and
Yeah.
went. And yeah, no, dude was shit faced. He was still sleeping when it happened.
Oh yeah, you fucking probably.
Cop
was
comes
there.
up. The cop comes up like, "Hey, hey!"
That's
Right?
fucking wild, man.
Shank, sounds like he was sleep drifting. Sleeping,
I fucking love that. If you buds have never heard Sleep Drifter, you need to fucking Google that shit and listen to it.
Not even that, just King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard.
Yeah, King
Amazing
Gizzard and the
band.
Lizard Wizard, like they are mind-bendingly amazing. My favorite is my favorite album by them is the Flying Microtonal Banana.
Yes, it's incredible
But-
gibberish.
My second encounter was sophomore year. Is sophomore year 11th grade?
Yeah, I don't know. In Canada, we don't do that whole naming our years thing. We just have numbers.
Yeah, for us, sophomore is 10th grade,
So what's 11th grade?
junior.
So my junior year, high school.
Mhm.
Me and a bunch of friends went to. We were just hanging out around the local like shopping area, Ridge Park Square.
Yeah, mall rat in it. Yeah.
It's not a mall, right? It's more of like a outdoor. There's like it's not like nothing too
Plaza?
Oh,
like,
like a shopping center,
Yeah,
type
nothing-
compound thing.
nothing like too small. Like you got a Mark's grocery store, you got Lowe's,
So
you
a
got Bed
plaza
Bath &
or a strip
Beyond,
mall or
a
some
movie
shit.
theater. But
I
not,
dig
yeah,
it.
no. And there's a park across the street from the McDonald's. We were at the McDonald's. We went to the park waiting for someone, and we're just be like, you know what? Let's act. We're at a park, right? Let's act like kids, and we just started like doing some like tag type shit.
Yeah.
And some lady on the street was seeing us, and made a false call saying we were destroying the park, but we're running around it.
Yeah.
Like
Just playing tag with
we're,
each other. Yeah.
we're big. We
You're-
were too
you're
big
playing-
to
you're
get on
playing
the
on-
jumbo
yeah.
gym, right?
So you're like playing
well,
at the
maybe we
park.
were on it, but we're literally just being dumbasses playing at the park.
Yeah.
We're not
So the lady called the
destroying
cops on kids
anything.
playing and having fun.
little juniors.
Yeah.
Junior teenagers playing at a park. And the cop pulls up and he's like, so we were done by the time the cop pulled up. We're literally sitting at the little pavilion plaza they have at the park, right?
Yeah. Just relaxing.
Just chilling. Like none of us had weed, none of us were smoking, none of us were drinking. Cop comes up to us and he's like, so someone says that you're destroying the park. And we just look at the cop, look back at the park, and we're just like, does it look destroyed? No, these cops were cool as shit though. They're like, we were just fucking around with the cops, standard teenager shit. What's your name and where you live? Blah blah blah. We, everyone got away scot free.
Yeah, no. Well, obviously, I mean, that's the thing is like, it's like once the cop realized that you're literally not like, that's the thing is that's what police like to see. They like to see kids just chilling out, not causing shit.
We weren't. We were literally.
And that's what I mean. You were just hanging out. You were hanging out.
Just
You were,
hanging out.
Straight edge fun kids. Like,
No.
that's what kids do.
I was the only straight edge
Well,
one. There.
I mean, like you were just at least, well, that's what I mean though, is you were at least like just not causing
Now
any
Everyone was
shenanigans. with that.
sober. Everyone was
See,
sober.
now if we remove the word straight edge and
Yeah.
add the word shenanigans, that sounds a lot more like me and my endeavors at my local park. So
Oh.
I have two stories to share. One that I was sharing with Isaac before the podcast.
Mm-hmm.
So this one, best way I can explain it. I woke up at roughly 2 o'clock in the afternoon in the middle of summer. I was still in high school. And I'm hearing a bunch of noise outside my house, but I'm too lazy to fucking get up and do anything about it.
Yeah.
So I finally get up, get dressed, all that shit, go outside, and I see a group of my friends fucking walking down the street. So they rush over and they're like, hey Curtis, what's up? Can we hang out? I'm like, dude, I just woke up and,
Yeah, whoa,
like,
bro.
I haven't done anything. And
Take the
they're like,
energy down a notch.
and they're like, no, it's fine, come on, let's hang out. And they like push me back into my house, and it's like, okay, so let's hang out on the porch or whatever. And they're like, no, let's come inside for a second. I'm like, why do you guys want to go inside? And this.
I don't know if my mom would be okay with that.
So I get them on the porch,
I'm
and I
picking
put
it up.
I put our blinds down, and I'm like, all right, what the fuck's going on? And they're like, all right, so essentially there's been this big fight that's been going on between the people in our group and these kids from another school who just like went to the park. So it started at the park, which is like 3 or 4 blocks away from my house, then continued to the gas station, which is a block away from my house,
Mm-hmm.
Then 2 blocks away from that, on the other side of my house, 1 block away, but 2 blocks away from the gas station, there's
Yeah.
an adjacent field. So they went from the park,
Highly secured, by the way.
a highly secured one. We looked it up on Google Maps, and mind you, it's still like this. There is a fence that is 2 sections and a gate with a lock on it, and that is it. There is no other gate or surrounding gate
so
around
there's
it.
supposed to be more chain link fence, but they just never put it in.
Something like
No,
that.
it's literally gated. It's literally a gate that of like a entrance that should be like a drive entrance,
Yeah.
and then there's 2 like
Little
foot,
pieces
like
of fence
as long just
for
like
it to be
2
connected to.
foot-sized
Yeah.
fences on the side to hold
So
those
it's literally
the
like
gate in.
having a door
And-
frame and a door with no wall.
Right.
Yes.
And on the other side of that, they do have like ditches,
Yeah.
Yeah.
sewage ditches, but still, most of them you could still easily get around it.
Yeah.
But
Highly
yeah,
secured.
highly secured fence. So anyway,
Area 51.
so they started at the park,
More secure.
fought there. Then they went to the gas station. They fought there in front of the gas station, and then
On
they're
camera.
like,
Good
"Hey,
job.
yep, on camera." And then
GG,
they're like,
buds.
"Hey, let's go to the fucking field over there. Let's settle this." So they go to the field and they settle it there, where they finally kick the kid's ass or whatever.
Yeah.
So my friends, who are at my house telling me all this, had just came from the field because the police are showing up and they're now looking for anybody who looks like they would have been involved in this fight. And they're rounding everybody up, basically.
Yeah.
So, the main people who are involved in the fight have gone back to the park now, and so have the people from the other, school or other area, because they have to get back to their cars, which are at the park. So more of a fight starts at the park where the police have finally caught them.
Oh my
So
god.
I'm
dude.
like, okay, all of this sounds freaking ridiculous. So we're sitting there for like 30 more minutes while they're explaining all of this and everything, and then I'm like, okay, so let's go to the park then? Yeah, let's go to the park. All right, yeah, that sounds like a genius
Oh
idea.
my god, dude.
So we go to the park, and once we get down there, sure as shit, pretty much anybody in our group is being detained outside of the fucking park.
Oh my god, dude.
And they're taking everybody's name and information down and telling everybody you're banned from the park straight up. We're going to look through the footage, and anybody who is involved in actual fighting is going to get arrested for assault. So they look through all the footage, and because my friends knew the areas so well, and they couldn't subpoena the gas station at the time, nobody was arrested for assault. Nobody got
Nice.
any fucking charges for that on our side. Everybody on their side fucking were the only ones caught swinging.
Yeah, that's fucking hilarious, dude.
That was fun. But on top of that, they also didn't have clear camera shots of exactly who was there. So I made them look through it 2 more times to realize, okay, I wasn't there because I was at home sleeping, like I had told them multiple times, but they were convinced I was there.
Yeah.
Meanwhile,
Well, you look like a hooligan, right? So
exactly. And I hang out with those hooligans. So 85% of our friends got banned from the park, and the other 15% of us could go in and out freely.
yeah,
So we would just stand in the park and wave to them or carry messages back and forth.
that's fucking
but-
hilarious.
The 85% of our friends who could not go into the park just hung out in the adjacent field outside of the park, which was also right next to the police station.
So it's like all right, fine. I won't hang out in the park. I'll just hang out in this field next to the park.
Either way, we were going to hang out in a grassy lot and do drugs and be hooligans. So
Yeah.
either you just get a clearer shot of it now, so fuck you. Hey buds, you really want to show off your love of marijuana or just really shine at your next smoke session? You really want to go to myhighshop.com for some of the coolest cannabis clothing and accessories. They have shirts, sweats, jewelry, grinders, and even pipes made out of amethyst crystals. You can check them out using the link below and let them know I sent you by using code GoodBudsCurtis at checkout. You can save 35% off your entire order and free shipping. Again, that's code GoodBudsCurtis at checkout. Thank you to myhighshop.com, and let's get back to the show.
Oh man, that's seriously though. Being hooligans next to a police station is just like
Oh yeah.
there's something special about that. The
For sure.
brazenness of teenagers.
Now,
But
I do have
you
a
know,
second.
yeah, go ahead.
I do. Yep. My second story was just as the police station in our town grew more, they started having cadets patrol, like, prospecting cadets who were in our town. Um, they were in charge of making sure the parks were secure. So closing everything down, fucking making sure that we're all good, and making sure the parks were in order.
Hmm.
They were pretty much specifically in charge of doing that because of me and my friends being hooligans.
That's funny as hell.
So the
Really,
first
we
year,
need somebody to take care of this. I don't want to put actual cops on it. Get some cadets on it or some shit.
exactly. So there was like 2 or 3 who would stay behind and do booking, one who would actually, or a couple who would go out on actual patrol, and then the rest of them were just park rangers, basically.
Yeah, yeah.
So the first year they were a little hardball. Second year, it was a little smoother. By third year, we finally got through to most of them, so
Hmm.
they were pretty much on our side.
Yeah, they were like,
So-
okay, we know you're not gonna trash things. You're just gonna come here and fuck around a little bit, and that's fine.
Right. So we would just bullshit with them, have fun. It was all good. So one day I am jumping around on picnic tables underneath the pavilion.
As one does. Yeah, as one
of
does.
course.
Yeah, we've all been
And
there.
of course, the cadet comes over to say hi to everybody, and she just looks at me and she's like, "Curtis, get down from there." Now, this was at the time where the Geico commercials, where the 2 guys playing like different instruments would come on and
Yeah,
compare Geico to something.
yeah.
So the one where Dikembe Mutombo had just come out.
Mutombo.
So she comes over and she's like, "Curtis, get down from there." No, not in my house. And then I
Christ.
keep jumping from picnic table to picnic table. She doubled over and left her, and fucking somebody else had to help her up.
That's fantastic, bro. That's fantastic. Oh my god.
No. Not today.
No. Oh my god, dude, that's fucking beautiful. Oh my
And
god.
those are my favorite police encounters.
No, dude, that's great. That's great. And honestly, like, it's funny because, like, with like police encounters, like, and stuff like that, it's funny because I know these are our personal stories and shit, but they're like right now, obviously, there's shit going on all over the world with police and everything. We're not talking about the darker stuff because we don't really want to touch on that. Everybody knows about it. You've got Facebook, and if you don't, you don't need to.
We can.
Yeah, but we can talk
We can
about
still
other stuff.
No, we can. I think it's time. We can talk about some current events that are happening in the world. This is world news while on weed.
Yeah, something like that. Anyway, so right now, a lot of you may have heard about the Canadian thing going on right now. It's getting a lot of like chutzpah steam from around the internet about
Those butt truckers.
Yeah, about butt truckers, about the Flu Trucks clan, going across Canada, going across Canada.
I didn't hear that one yet.
Yeah.
Blue Trucks Clan.
Yeah, going across Canada because they don't want to get vaccinated and they're tired of the government putting, mandates into effect, which are, something that the government does when there's a pandemic going on. It's weird. But anyway, so this very small fraction of the 120,000 truckers total in Canada, there's like maybe 10,000 of them, which is a very small fraction of 120,000. I don't know what that is, but it's less than 10%. Decided that they were going to go congest Ottawa, our country's capital, where our prime minister and our politics gets done. They decided they were going to go there and park on the streets and like cause some shit for everybody who lives in Ottawa because reasons. Freedom, I guess. But hey, at least they're free to do it. Nobody stopped
Mind
them.
you, the fucking hilarious part about this is unless they have a union who is backing them, they have to pay for all their own gas in this.
Yeah,
Diesel is expensive
it's
on
true.
one of those trucks.
Well, actually, the funding for the convoy and stuff like that, there was a GoFundMe made for it. The funding actually was found to be backed by white separatist, like a white supremacist separatist movement in Canada. So the GoFundMe got canceled because the people who started it had ties to a white supremacist group. And so GoFundMe was like, "Fuck you! We're not letting you take funds from the public and distribute them how you want to." So anyway, aside from that though, the truckers put out a public release recently because the police, the Ontario Provincial Police and the RCMP working together, said, hey, we're going to have more cops in Ottawa because there's going to be, way more people than there normally are and way more traffic congestion and everything else. So we're going to bring in more police. So the organizers of the convoy, or some of them, because it's a completely unorganized convoy, there's like literally no leaders. It's just like a random group of people. Made a press release saying that they need reinforcements. They're saying we need people from all over Canada to converge on Ottawa because they're bringing more police in and stuff like that, right? And it's been met on social media with a resounding, hey, we support you, but no thanks, we're staying home. That's cool. And a resounding, go fuck yourself from Ottawa because they're already having a hard enough time with traffic and everything else right now.
Yep. And by the way, for people who think that that's not affecting anything else, Cenk, let's go in for a second. Where is Ottawa?
Ottawa is actually it's in
Right?
Ontario. It's in Ontario.
It's in Ontario. It's
yeah.
right on the border of
Directly.
Canada and United States, specifically
close.
Michigan.
Mm-hmm.
Now, because of the block in Ottawa, they have blocked the Ambassador Bridge as well. Some truckers have come over into America from Canada and are blocking the Ambassador Bridge. So American truckers can no longer go into Canada. Canadian truckers and shit cannot get out of Canada. And no other civil traffic can get through in or out.
Mm-hmm.
Because of this, huge backups in actual traffic, which is leading into Detroit. And on top of that, people are now having to reroute and take the other bridge, which is in Port Huron, which travels basically through where I live to the point where all fucking interstate roads are now backed up.
Yeah.
For a long ass period.
And a lot of grocery stores are like, emptying out of stock in those areas because they just can't get to them. Like, transport trucks can't get to them. And like I said, this is like, it is a small group of people. People keep saying, "Oh, look at the size of the convoy. It looks so huge. It looks so huge." It's like, yeah, they're big old trucks. Like, of course, if you get 1,000 Tonka trucks and stack them on top of each other, you can say that's a big pile of Tonka trucks. But it's not all the Tonka trucks in the world. Like there's way more Tonka trucks not in that pile, even if the pile looks huge. So the convoy looks huge in all the footage and stuff, but there are 120,000 truck drivers in Canada. That's a lot of trucks.
The main reason it looks huge is not only because of the trucks, but also because of the major amount of fucking traffic that they're backing up.
Exactly. And so it's basically, it's one of those things where it reminds me of when other groups of people and other groups of individuals who are like not the majority, but they try to use some kind of manpower / brute force tactic to get their own political agenda passed, regardless of due political process, through inconvenience of civilians and through using their power to either inconvenience citizens or block infrastructure. I can't remember what this group of people's called, though.
While also trying to incite some sort of, message into them emotionally, similar to fear,
some kind of political message, fear or anger or subversion of political process through fear or anger or.
I've heard of this before.
I don't know what those groups of people are typically called. I don't know. But that's what they're doing right now. They're using essentially brute force tactics to attempt to force their political idea through because they don't want to go through due political process because they tried that and everybody said no, fuck you. Like
terrorists.
Oh, terrorists! That's who does it. Terrorists. They're the guys who fuck with civilians and fuck with social infrastructure, using their small, limited group of people to subvert politics and get their own way without actually needing to go through due process. That's
ISIS.
Yeah. That's another one of them.
ISIS.
Well, it makes sense because they've been calling this a Al-Qaeda caravan, right? So it makes sense, right?
Oof.
And it's one of those things where, it's ridiculous because, the cops, obviously in Ontario, I cannot stress enough how much I appreciate them protecting our country's due political process and freedom. Because, I would be so fucking stressed out to be a cop in Ontario right now. It's fuck, man. It's not only do you have to deal with civilian problems while getting through traffic, so if a civilian in your city, a citizen of your city has a problem that you need to deal with, it's going to be harder for you to get to it because of all the trucks. But the truck drivers are also going to be causing issues. I've heard that a handful of them here and there are, they're cleaning up bathrooms in Tim Hortons and stuff like that, and they're, help and stuff. But then there's other groups that are literally stockpiling fuel. They're stockpiling propane canisters. To air quotes as a show of force from what the people on the media, the people who represent them have said on the media, which is scary. Again, terrorists. But
Uh,
but the police right now, I'd be scared to be an OPP, like an Ontario provincial police right now, because it'd be very tense. And I have family in Ontario, and I'm concerned for their well-being because of this situation going on that shouldn't have happened. If they wanted to make political change and they believed that enough people support them to change the mandates and change the laws, they should have gone about it in a legal manner. You know?
it's just like the people at the Capitol riots last
Yeah.
year.
Well,
Fuck
it's
it.
like yeah, you don't get your way,
Not
so I
enough
hate.
people.
Yeah.
Yeah, not enough people agree with you, so you don't have to go storming a fucking national monument where a
I
whole
know.
bunch of high-ranking political officials are.
I get it. It sucks to lose. It sucks to lose, but when you rage, smash your keyboard, not the capital city.
Yeah.
It's an easy fucking thing, you know? Like,
Don't break
like you know, yeah.
infrastructure just because you want to be upset.
When you lose, like it's like that's the thing is everybody with half a brain knows vaccines work. They just know. I mean, they certainly don't necessarily, they're not a miracle cure, but doctors and scientists and people who are substantially smarter than me with substantially more medical like background say that it's smart for me to have them. It's smart for as many people as can have them, and for people that can't have them, not to travel freely between countries because that's how you continue to keep this thing spreading and mutating. So
Right.
like it's smart for people who have like my job. I work at home and I'm fully vaccinated, you know, and it's like one of those things where like if I had a job where I had to travel even from city to city in my own province, I would want to be fully vaccinated just to give the people around me that are people who live in the country with me who are like fellow citizens who I care about on a like interpersonal level. I don't care about them individually as people, but they are Canadians. They are people who are like my people. And so
Right.
I don't want to spread that sickness amongst them if I have any opportunity to stop it. And people specifically who are fully healthy and capable of getting the vaccination, protesting it just because the government's telling them to get it, are being contrarian. It's like a kid who says they don't like mac and cheese because you made mac and cheese tonight. You know?
Right.
Like it's ridiculous. But and so the OPP has a massive buildup. But speaking aside from that, I want to touch on something funny the OPP did recently.
What
Like
they do?
because these guys are fucking like it's hilarious. So basically, what they did is people were calling. Obviously, cannabis has been legal in Canada for a long time now. You guys know this, right?
PP.
I know,
PP.
right?
Yeah. The
OPP.
OPP. Yeah, you
Yeah,
know
you
me.
know
PP.
me. but but anyway, so like the OPP, basically what they did is because cannabis has been legal in Canada for quite some time, like
Right.
quite some time, like very
Yeah.
obvious, right? So anyway, the police decided that they were going to put out some PSAs because people kept calling the cops when people were smoking weed.
Of course.
Like, because it's, it's reasons. So
Right.
anyway,
Oh, that was bad a couple days ago.
exactly. So basically what ended up happening is they put out a series of tweets and the tweets are like, for example, here's one of them. It says, asking what to do with your frozen meat during a power outage is not a 911 call. Smelling weed coming from your neighbor's home isn't either. Cannabis is no longer illegal. Consumption is allowed for anyone 19 years or older. Don't call the police for this.
Yep.
like,
It's
you know, it's so
I
good.
it's funny because I actually have a fucking page right here of some of the funniest police tweets, and
Okay, yeah.
quite
Oh,
a
hit
few.
me.
A few of them kind of fit or go with that.
Yeah, hit me.
So, um, first one I have is some guy tweeted at them saying, "Hey, Seattle, I think the mounted patrol monitoring the Comic-Con line is a bit overkill. No? Question mark. Seattle Police Department respond, they're just there to keep an eye on things, but you can just pretend they're Centaur cosplayers if you'd prefer.
Nice. Nailed it.
Um,
Shit.
That's what you call good community interaction.
Now the Lawrence Police Department has a couple good ones. So somebody asked, it's National Donut Day and nothing but crickets from you. I'm a little disappointed. Lawrence Police respond with, sorry, the Wi-Fi in the kitchen of Dunkin' Donuts has been spotty today. We'll be out in 3 to 4 hours. And they also said, or they also had somebody ask them, are you at Main and 6th? Asking where the department is.
Yeah.
Lawrence Police responded, that's creepy, Sandy. Don't do that to us.
It's so funny. Oh my god. See, that's great. Like I love when they have a good social media PR like Twitter account.
I love the good PR Twitter accounts, dude. Like Wendy's.
Yeah, like
Oh,
or
yeah.
like the Good Buds podcast on Twitter.
I got a couple other ones here, which are some funny, like, luring in ones.
Okay.
Leicester Police said, if you've committed a burglary in Leicester area within the last week, come to our police station and claim a free iPad.
Oh my god.
And then
That's hilarious.
Solihull Police. Anyone lost a huge amount of cannabis in the Kelmsey Wood area? Don't panic, we found it. Please come to the police station to collect it.
Oh my god, dude. Well, it's like I remember that reminds me a lot of the like the episodes of like Cops or whatever, where they're doing that thing where they're like, hey, like these people all have warrants, so we're gonna send them a letter in the mail that says if you come down to this location, you win a free boat. And the people fucking show up and they're like, yeah, man, I'm so excited to get a free boat. And then they walk in the room and there's like just like 17 cops. Like, and they just grab the person as quietly as they can and take them out back so that
Why would you go? Yeah, next person who comes in.
Can you imagine you're like the third person in line, one person goes in, they never come out, the next person goes in, they never come out, and you're just standing there like, I don't think I'm getting a boat today.
I think the fourth or fifth person in, I would probably be a little curious because they could be in for a while, but I also might think they're getting a boat, so obviously they're taking it out the back.
Yeah,
They're
we're doing
driving it
paperwork or whatever, yeah, but it's like,
Yeah.
fuck, man. So funny.
Another
Anyway,
one
yeah,
from
there's
this
another one.
Another one from the Solihull Police Department was arrested a 28-year-old man for stealing a Twilight Saga DVD box set. The store owner suggested making him watch it as punishment.
That's golden.
Snap. Oh, that reminds me. Actually, I was watching an interview Robert Pattinson did recently for it was like for the Batman or whatever, and the interviewer asked him about Twilight, and it was hilarious, man, because that dude does not fucking like that series, that movie at all. He regrets it so hard. He's like honestly, just he's like I'd rather not talk about it, but I will say that it's one of the most embarrassing parts of my career.
So I got another one here from Lawrence Police Department, which is these are more of the inappropriate 911 calls.
Yeah.
So reminder, we realize politics can make emotions run high, but being mad at a presidential candidate is not a debate. In a debate is not a reason to call 911. So people calling because they think somebody else should be.
Yeah, this person is wrong, and they support Trump. You should arrest them.
This is a Biden lover. Fuck him.
Yeah, this guy loves
I
Biden.
can't do anything. Fuck you. I'm a police officer.
Yeah, it's like, dude, I'm not going to arrest him for supporting Biden. Well, you're not American. It's like, he's the president. What's more American than loving the president? Fuck. I'm getting mixed signals here.
Next, we have the Kingston Police Department. Yes, we can confirm Facebook is down. Please don't call us. What a great opportunity to spend some time with your family.
That's fantastic.
And then GMP Whitefield has said, for those who contacted the police about KFC being out of chicken, please stop. Their website says the Prestwich store is now open if you want to follow the 4 police cars through the drive-thru.
Oh my god.
Oh my goodness.
So yeah. Police officers can be good when they got.
They can be. They can be like, and again, it's because we like, and the reason why we're saying this kind of stuff, and the reason why we're making these points is basically because of the fact that we, like I said earlier on in the podcast, police, just like every other profession on the planet, have a broad spectrum of people. There are some dudes who go into it for a power trip, and they're obvious. And I think that the thing that we need, and we're seeing more of now, which is a positive direction, what we need to support is self-policing in the police. If police officers there are good ones out there, if those dudes that aren't dicks see somebody acting like a dick and they call it out, we should support that. We shouldn't demonize it. We shouldn't demonize all cops. Like, shout out those good cops that actually fucking report the assholes and get them gone so that the good cops can continue, helping the community.
Speaking of self-policing, there's also a shout out to a Twitter account here. It's not a cop, not a policeman, with a very generic fucking guy with a handlebar or a little mustache.
Little mustache, yeah. And he's totally not a cop.
All of his tweets are totally not cop tweets. So retweet if you're excited for Christmas or if you have an active warrant in the state of Arizona. Send me a pic of your favorite meth lab. Saw a
Oh my
beautiful
God.
piece of vandalism outside the 7-Eleven on Dearborn. It says, kill cops. Message me if you're responsible. Big fan.
Oh my God.
Fun game. Everyone fax me their fingerprints. Where's the most popular place to hide drugs? Doing a survey.
Oh my God. This guy's brilliant. Like, and that's hilarious too. Like, that's great satire. But and like the OPP, I just found some more. They got like 2 more of these things here. It says the asking for directions because you're lost is not a 911 call. Reporting an adult for smoking a joint isn't either. Cannabis is no longer illegal. Consumption is allowed anywhere. Cigarette smoking is allowed except in a motor vehicle. Do not call police for this. Like, and they have to emphasize that do not call police for this.
Oh, yeah.
Because people love calling cops for reasons that they don't need to. It's like the fucking person that called the cops on Isaac and his buddies for playing tag and shit. Like, it's just unnecessary. Like, the cops, like, I'm sure they have shit to do. Like, don't call the cops unless you see somebody getting hurt. like, you know, or hear. Like, if you hear gunshots or something, then, I mean, maybe be like, hey, I might have heard gunshots. You may want to check it out. but
No.
Right.
if you see kids playing around, come on, man. Even if you see kids fighting each other, just let them fight it out. They'll tucker themselves out.
Absolutely.
Oh, man.
If I recalled, you a bitch.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, just let him duke it out. But yeah, man, it's really funny that there's a lot of different types of police interactions, and honestly, some of them have been really negative over the last couple of years, and I hope that those have helped kind of shift the perspective of what cops should be doing. And I've noticed a lot of changes from a lot of different police groups and a lot of different police, like, you know, organizations in the way that they handle policing. And I'm really hoping that, like, with the changes that are going on, we see a more social policing kind of thing where they just, like, try to help people as opposed to just, you know, try to enforce things, you know? Like, it's like enforcement isn't always the best way to deal with the situation.
Exactly.
Like, you know, so
However,
like yeah.
However, sometimes it is proper. And I think one of the best things we can do to lead this podcast is I have a video real quick that I'm going to share to you buds, and hopefully the audio picks up. All right. Can you hear this, guys?
No. Are you
No,
sharing
sir.
it off your screen or are you sharing it off your browser?
Screen, I think.
Do it off your browser.
Okay. 1 sec. Boop, boop. Don't worry, buds. This
Yeah, we'll get
fun.
this. We'll get this.
All right. How's that?
No.
No.
Nope. Okay. Hold on. We know this. Oh, there it is. Share sound.
There you
That
go.
guy's name is Andrew Nelson. Can you go inside
Oh.
the smoke shop and see if he's inside? Yeah. Thanks.
Hey, no
She's a
problem.
runner, she's a track star. She gon' run away.
I get a warrant for your arrest with the bail bonds company. Get on the ground.
Bail bonds. Bro, you out here tactical up. Looking like you. Oh shit. Oh shit! Shadow man.
I love this guy, man.
Like all day, bro.
It's not day, I told you. Wake up every day.
It's not day, I told you.
Same shitty paycheck. I mean, at least your job is fun. How do I do that? Big sign-ups? Or do you just gotta be a major
You just gotta be a major.
fast, bro, but you ain't fast on I'm feminine. You ain't get me. I got you. It's tiring. I'm hot. Don't taste me. That shit just stings. My safe word is pineapple juice. You dead?
Hold hands.
It's warm. We gonna take pictures?
Stay just like that. Bring your ankles up to your butt.
Swap man, what's my safe word?
The ankles up to your butt.
That's how far I go. You think I'm in Pilates? I don't know. What you doing? Ooh, oh, that's cute. Can I take it? No, I'll take the pineapple.
Oh my god.
Watch your hands.
Like, Patty Mayo is
Watch your
fucking
hands.
ridiculous.
Oh yeah.
Like, half his shit is staged and fake, but it's so funny.
You wanna put those in your pocket?
For sure.
That has changed. You know how long it took me to acquire those? Those are limited edition. That's my flash drive. Don't look at it unless you want to see Big D. That's my wallet. You have no. Ooh. And watch your fingers, booty hole man. He's strong. No wonder y'all together. Hey, we'll talk though. Every strong man got a sensitive side. Like doing the weird shit. What's your safe word? Hey, real talk though. In my car, I got snacks. Would you mind get my snacks for me?
Huh? No. Like,
Remember what I said?
Pineapple juice.
ow, that hurt my butt. It jumped up and hit me in the ass. Up and hit me in the fucking ass.
Oh
Jesus
my God.
Christ.
Oh my God.
That hit my butthole.
Holy fuck, that hit my butthole.
Can't even show you hunger now.
Yeah, you're right, sir. I dropped that one. We all make mistakes, like your entire life.
Like your entire life. Bum, bum, bum.
Oh my God, that's funny.
Yeah, I love that fucking clip. Just-
Another
yeah.
acceptable one.
My
would
safe
be
word
we
is
all-
pineapple juice.
Yeah, my safe word is remember pineapple juice. Seriously, that's
Oh,
like
man.
one of the funniest clips on the internet that does involve policing. I think, Curtis, that is definitely a good way to kind of trail at the end of the podcast there. I think that's a good way to do it, aside from the usual that we do.
Of course, one last thing we have to get to. I have a bong packed right here of some of that sweet, sweet gas breath.
I got this bomb pack right here of that G13.
And Isaac, you still got some of that sweet blue Parade.
Yeah, some of that blue juice.
Slaps. Hell yeah. Well, buds, it is time. As always, hopefully you got all your shit ready. Let us blaze it. Tok tok shkaboke. Ooh.
Mmm. Damn good.
Delicious.
Damn good.
And if you want to know more about that strain, then you, as we said before, be sure to check out our review on that on YouTube. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, all that shit to the podcast. Follow us wherever you can. Check us out on Facebook, Instagram, all that other stuff. We are
Except
going
in
to...
IRL.
What up?
You said follow us wherever you can. I said except in real life.
Except in real life. That's creeps.
Go.
And then we'll have to call the police on you. Hey!
Hey.
You're not the ones
I'm
who send
calling-
message in a bottle.
I'm calling the police on you right now, actually.
That stings.
No, please don't. Hey.
I'm calling the police on Shank now.
And with all of that, we're gonna roll into the road, and we will see you buds next week on the Good Buds Podcast.
Take it easy, buds. Thanks. Remember, like Curtis said, like, comment, subscribe, share, all that jazz. Later, buds.
Later.
Hello, 911.
Stop calling.